everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for Terrmeister Thorific Thursday. If you like this, please rate, comment, subscribe, share. And I'm going to, I talked about body dysmorphia before, but I talked about it in more of a textbook form. I want to talk about it on a personal level as far as where I've been dealing with it. So I've always been a fat kid. I've always been the big man. And I've hated that because of the fact that I'm like, well, okay, I'm not determined by my weight or my height, but, I'm taller than most people. And I always take note of those who are like my height or a little taller because that's not very common. But I always felt like I was just too fat for everything, and I felt like even now, sometimes I'm like, you know what, I just have to look in the mirror and think you're making progress. Kick back those negative thoughts. You cannot continue to keep them because they will not be beneficial to where you want to go. And I want to lose a substantial amount of weight, but I have to eat for that body, and that is where it's been derailing me. And then, of course, I get into this thing where when I try to I want to indulge a little bit, and that's where I'm going to have to stay. And I'm keeping a success journal for that because I want to make sure that I am not to the point where I've deprived myself so much that I binge and then I feel awful about that. And then, it spirals out of control. So if anything, that's what I'm looking at. Also, the other thing I'm looking at is the fact that I have to just remember that, my body wasn't built in a day. Neither was Rome. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was your body. Tony Horton says that. And I have to continually remember that because, see, the body dysmorphia is more or less something where it's where your image of your body isn't what's here. Like some people who are on one side really anorexic, they look at themselves and they see someone who is 600 pounds or more, or somebody that is really, really overweight. And then some people who are really, really overweight are in denial and say, well, I'm not that big. But then again, they're having a lot of health issues that unfortunately are working against their bodies. And it's not something that is beneficial for them to deny. But body dysmorphia, that is basically a discernible difference in your mind's image of what your body looks like or is and the reality, because there is a missing link there because of what we have here. And we have to kind of repair that link and see our bodies in the way that they are, not how we want them to be. But also, if we want to get them better, then we must work for that. But the other part is that we have to overcome a lot of the negative, overcoming the negativity to where I could feel comfortable sleeping naked or walking around my house naked. That was a very big thing for me. Even wearing a tanker now, that was a big thing for me. I never would wear a tanker 5 years ago when I first started. And then, I've done a lot of ups and downs, but I am sick of that. And I want to continue to keep and maintain what I want. So that has been my whole issue with body dysmorphia. And I still have to remember that, no, I am not as big as I think, as my brain would like to say I am. But I am working on it. I'm getting there. And it's a process that I have to see through. And the biggest part is indulging a little so that I don't overindulge, because that has been a really, really big thing for me. And keeping a success journal has definitely helped for that. So thank you so much. Next Terrific Tuesday, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think, oh yeah, you guys are going to meet Onisha. Onisha is my journal, and I will just kind of talk a little bit about her. And how I view it is I will write to her, and then later on when I review her contents, she will write to me. So that's kind of how journals work. So see you later. Thank you so much for joining me for Terrmeister Thorific Thursday, and enjoy your summer.